Good morning, everyone. Jackie Broman here from TBA Law, coming live Monday mornings. Join Jackie. I am a little bit late, sorry, but Monday mornings, again, I'm regularly going to be showing up for you. We've had, how many Mondays off now? Has it been 3 or is it only 2? Anyway, I'm back. So, Monday mornings, I go live to give you a short snippet of legal information. So that's what I'm here showing up doing. If there is anything in particular that you would like to know about, you're quite welcome to message us through this Facebook page, or you can email directly about a topic that you might like. All these videos do get saved, even though they're live, onto the page. So on our Facebook page, there is a tab that says videos. You can go there. There's well over 100 videos there. You can go and have a look at all sorts of topics to see if a topic that you want has already been covered. A couple of people checking in live. Hi, Anthony. Good to see you. You're regularly showing up live, and sorry I haven't been around for a couple of weeks. So today's topic is, what is ADR? So ADR is a phrase that gets thrown around a lot in the legal industry, but it doesn't mean much to anyone else. ADR stands for Alternative Dispute Resolution. And what's the alternative? So it's an alternative to going to court. So the courts tend to get quite full if everyone just wants to use the court as the process for dispute resolution. So they're trying to encourage more and more people to do alternative dispute resolution. And in fact, in most of the courts now, doing ADR is essential to get to trial. So if you don't do ADR before filing in court, the first step after filing in court is some form of ADR, court ordered. Now, even if you have tried ADR prior to filing in court, you're still going to have to go through that court-ordered process as well, and it depends what that process looks like under the court umbrella versus privately. So what I'm talking about today is the private version of ADR. So what alternative dispute resolution topics or means, avenues do you have before even filing in court? And potentially before even speaking to a lawyer, because once you go and see a lawyer, it tends to escalate the conflict a lot quicker. So trying to resolve it in an alternative means before going to a lawyer can be really important. How do you do that? Now, ombudsmans are a really good way of doing that. If you go back a few weeks, I did a video about what is an ombudsman and what sort of disputes they can, or complaints they can resolve for you. So an ombudsman does have a free dispute or complaint resolution process, so that can be a pathway. Similarly, your consumer affairs, and your Dispute Settlement Centre of Victoria both have a very low cost, if any cost, dispute or complaint process like ombudsman's as well. So depending on the sort of dispute that you have, having a look at those as an alternative before seeing a lawyer is really the way to go. Then, you can either do these other processes with a lawyer or without a lawyer, and that is mediation or arbitration. Conciliation as well is another word really for mediation in a fashion, and you can do them with or without a lawyer. For mediation, I tend to think it is better to do it earlier rather than later and without a lawyer, because a lawyer involved in the mediation can make it not as effective. And how do you find a mediator? So not all lawyers are qualified mediators, and in fact, many mediators are actually not lawyers at all. They've come from other industries, counselling, from working in the courts or in public service, to all sorts of different backgrounds, and they've just decided they think that the mediation skill is a really good skill to have. So where do you start? You can start by going to the Mediation Institute, and there's a whole list of mediators there which you could find. And it might be better for your sort of matter that you use a mediator that is not a lawyer. So there you go with mediators. And your mediation might only be a 90-minute phone mediation. That might work for you. Most mediations over the last couple of years have either gone via phone or online, so there is that process. So there you go. The Mediation Institutes are a great place to start. Another place to start is a mediation centre called Interact Support. So you can just Google that. It does low-cost online mediations. There's usually no wait time for that. And also, they do types of mediations for separations as well, which is a special kind of mediation. So please, 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 if you have a dispute, try mediation first. Arbitration is not a process where you keep the control like mediation. Mediation is basically a facilitated conversation where you and the other party still keep control of the outcome and come to an agreement. And arbitration is instead where a third party is appointed to make a decision on the dispute. So the outcome is taken out of your hands. So an arbitrator might be someone, for example, who has a lot of experience in the building industry, or might be an engineer or someone like that who is really good at factual circumstances and technical skill. And so if it is something that is highly technical and needs a third party to make a decision on about what is or isn't correct, arbitration can be a good way to go. And most of the time it's just done in writing. So you appoint someone, you submit your arguments in writing, and the other person submits their arguments in writing, and the arbitrator makes a decision and lets you know in writing. So that's arbitration. So those are the main types of ADR, alternative dispute resolution. There is a newer type of ADR which does involve lawyers, however, they have to be specially trained lawyers, and that is called collaborative practice. So a lot of people throw around the term that they're collaborative, but they may not be actually collaboratively trained. There are a limited number of lawyers who are collaboratively trained, and then if you want to do a collaborative process, it is almost like a mediation, but you probably have 3 or 4 meetings or mediations over the course of however long a time period you want. You know, if you want it resolved in a couple of months, you would have fairly regular meetings, or it might take 4 to 6 months to resolve, with mediations every 6 weeks or so. So the collaborative process involves pulling together a collaborative team. So each party has a lawyer, because if you're uncomfortable and you do want legal representation, this is the way to do that. But the team also includes a communication coach who is like the mediator, but in some ways not, because they are there they will also meet with you individually to help you work out how to say certain things that need to be said, and about how to manage your own emotional responses to what the other party might say. And in that collaborative team is also a financial independent. So not someone who is exclusively advising you, but it is someone who is advising the whole team, including advising the lawyers, because if we are putting forward different options to resolve the dispute, the financial independent can look at each option independently and advise everyone about what the outcomes of each option would be. So it is a really interesting newer form of process. If you want to find a collaborative practitioner in Victoria, you can go to the association website, that is VACP, the Victorian Association of Collaborative Practitioners. So there's only about 30 or 40 of us in Victoria that are collaboratively trained. And yeah, it's It's quite a interesting process in terms of learning how to work with someone over the long term. So if it is a family dispute, if it is a dispute over children, if it is a family business dispute where you know you have a long-term relationship that you need some way of working with this person, collaborative practice can help the two of you resolve a lot of things and learn how to deal with each other moving forward. So there you are. Ultra fast information about what is ADR, alternative dispute resolution, and the alternative means that it doesn't go to court, hopefully. So I hope that that's helpful. Look out for an ADR process that could work for you. If this is something that you think would be of interest to someone else you know, by all means, please tag them by commenting on this video. Or you can share this video directly with them through Messenger. So I will see you again next Monday. Now we're back to not having public holidays every Monday. Again, if there is a topic particularly that you'd like me to cover, please let me know. Otherwise, catch you next Monday with the next topic. See you then.